And your preferred candidate.
Secretary for Education. President, I'm grateful to members for their valuable comments on the PA 2023 education initiatives. Thank you for their recognition and commendation. We will very seriously consider their views and follow up as appropriate. When talents abound, the country thrives, and strong talents can give rise to a strong nation. Talents is a primary resource. Education is the key, and we will continue to nurture young people who are virtuous, knowledgeable, and responsible with love for the country and the city. We should not just look at current challenges. We must take a macro perspective and go for greater development of the education system so that we can provide more opportunities for our young people so that they contribute to building a better Hong Kong. The 20th National Progress Conference report said that we should invigorate the country through science and education and develop a strong workforce for the modernization drive. Hong Kong is to develop into 8 centers contained in the 14 5-year plan. Will continue to focus on science and teacher training, national education, and to start a new chapter for our education sector. As we all know, Hong Kong is the only place in the world with 5 universities in the world's top 100. We have diversified structure. We have a good education framework. We'll continue to use this advantage so that we can develop Hong Kong into an international education hub and a cradle of future talents. We will increase the non-local student quota of publicly funded post-secondary institutions. Starting from 2024-25 academic year, the non-local student quota of publicly funded post-secondary institutions will be doubled from 20 to 40% of the local student places. Let me stress that for these 8 UGC-funded universities, they are going to over-enroll non-local students. So this increase in voter is not going to reduce the number of places for local students. With regard to their own circumstances, universities may progressively attract more students from abroad so as to develop Hong Kong into an international education hub. For hostels, the UGC-funded universities will continue to use the Hostel Development Fund to build another 13,500 hostel places to cater for the needs of new intake. In fact, there are a variety of choices. The private sector is interested in providing quarters, and there is also collaboration between universities and the private sector. For development of the post-secondary sector, we'll continue to see how we can improve the arrangements for mainland students to come to Hong Kong. And then we will also launch a new round of land grant scheme and also a scholarship scheme. The UGC will provide another $100 million in the funding scheme for mainland and global engagement and student experience. Will also widen our scholarship scheme. We have increased the number of postgraduate quota, and we are going to increase the quota of the Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme from 300 to 400 places per academic year. We're going to apply to the Finance Committee for the injection of $1 billion into the B&R Scholarship Fund to attract outstanding students from all over the world to pursue their studies in Hong Kong. We're grateful to members for supporting our plan to develop an education town in the Northern Metropolis. We will share resources in the Northern Metropolis so that we can support the vibrant development of the post-secondary education sector. We'll closely monitor the demand for supply and of international school places and will reserve sites in the Northern Metropolis for the development of international schools to dovetail with the government's policy to draw for talents. We thank members for their support in our bid to raise the status of VPAN, and thank you for your views on how we can build the University of Applied Sciences. We will continue to adopt this dual-pronged approach we will drop the criteria for qualifying as a UAS. We will encourage more collaboration between the industries and also these universities. Now, together with the Hong Kong Council for Accreditation of Academic and Vocational Qualifications, draw up the criteria for qualifying as University of Applied Sciences. We encourage self-financing post-secondary institutions with international experience to engage in the scheme. We will accord priority to eligible programs of UAS for inclusion under the study subsidy scheme for designated professionals or sectors, and we will provide additional subsidies to students enrolling in applied degrees programs under SSSDP. We will set aside a sum of fund to support prospective post-secondary institutions to form an alliance of UAS for joint promotion in order to enhance the status of VPAT, and we will respond to the various manpower demand from different sectors in a speedy manner. We are going to support the VTC to establish the Hong Kong Institute of Innovation or Information Technology to strengthen Hong Kong's IT sector capacity and to provide dedicated pre-employment and in-service training. To meet the manpower needs of the industry, we will also collaborate with the main authorities to take forward the mutual recognition of sub-degree level qualifications to try on the new arrangements on a pilot basis. We'll continue to promote STEAM education. We will introduce a subject on science in primary schools to strengthen students' scientific and creative thinking. Starting from 2025-26, we will launch this subject in P1 and P4 for gradual extension to other levels as well. We will set aside $200 billion for buying extra teaching aids and to upgrade facilities. We will strengthen mathematics education to enhance students' capacity in the applications of the subject. We will continue to strengthen STEAM-related professional training program and also enhance the capacity of teachers. We are grateful to teachers, to members for your concern about teacher development. Now, we will support our teachers to take part in the National Putonghua Proficiency Test, and we will set up the first teacher training exchange base in collaboration with relevant mainland authorities. We will launch mainland study tours for promoted teachers, and will continue to offer more such places. And we will also promote the guidelines for students' professional conduct. We will introduce new awards under the CE's Award for Teaching Excellence to support the mental well-being of teachers and students. We are going to commission NGOs to organize activities to enhance the physical and mental health for teachers to help them enhance their work capacity. We introduced the mental health literacy resource kit for upper primary students in November. We continue to launch the versions for suitable levels at a later stage. I believe schools will take the opportunity to organize class-based and school-based mental health promotion activities to let students learn about ways to maintain, to keep their minds healthy, learn about mental health illness and treatment, and to remove the negative labeling on mental health patients. And we will set up a one-stop hotline and online counseling services to support students and parents in dealing with peer conflicts or school bullying. We will boost the resource teacher establishment in special schools and extend that to School for Social Development. Will provide additional support in learning and development for students with autism spectrum disorder, and we will also boost support for non-Chinese speaking students in the learning of the Chinese subject and career planning to help them better integration into schools and the community. We do care for the unfortunate cases of suicides among students. We will set up a school-based 3-tier emergency mechanism so that teachers, schools, parents, and stakeholders in society will tackle the problem together in a collaborative manner. We will promote mental health among our youngsters and how to address their learning problems. We will set up a support network and build a caring atmosphere so as to enhance the mental health literacy of both students and parents. Now, members are concerned about the drop in student population. As in the past, we have invested heavily in education. We attach a lot of significance to education. Education now accounts for the largest portion of public spending in Hong Kong. We have to ensure that resources are spent in a effective manner. Student population is declining. We will monitor the latest development and monitor the actual situation. We will take students' interests at our primary consideration, and we will rationalize the situation and will ensure that there can be balanced and extensive learning opportunities for our students. We'll continue to liaise with schools and support schools to make appropriate preparation and measures to address the changes in supply and demand of places to ensure that the sector can develop in a healthy manner. And we will accord priority to student interests. We'll focus our resources to upgrade our quality of education. In a professional manner, we'll continue to roll out small class education in public aided schools. We will monitor the manpower situation of teachers. We will continue with professional training of teachers to enhance their professional capacity. Once again, I want to thank members for the comments and concern for various areas in education. Hopefully, we can implement the measures in relation to education in the PA so that we can provide better education for our students. With these remarks, I urge members to support Ms. Starry Lee's motion of thanks. Thank you.
Secretary for Youth and Home Affairs. Mr. President, members, I thank members for their views and suggestions. Let me give some salient points about the work of the Home and Youth Affairs Bureau. The government has been attaching importance to youth development, as mentioned by members. Vice Premier Ding Xueqiang a few days ago in Beijing met with representatives of the Hong Kong Youth Alliance. This fully demonstrates the importance the central authorities attach to youth development in Hong Kong. Our Bureau published the Youth Development Blueprint at the end of last year, which outlines the government's long-term vision and direction of youth work. Over 160 specific actions and measures are proposed to help young people overcome the hurdles in education, employment, entrepreneurship, and home ownership so that they receive comprehensive support in their development, in line with the spirit of President Xi's key address delivered on the 1st of July last year. Bureaus and departments have actively implemented various measures in this regard. The Chief Executive has dedicated a chapter to echo President Xi's remarks that Hong Kong will only prosper when its young people thrive. He emphasizes a sustained effort in taking forward youth work. It demonstrates the government's commitment in this regard. To address young people's development needs in a timely and sustained manner, the policy address has proposed new initiatives. For example, the Youth Development Summit will be held in the middle of next year as the opening and highlight of the next Youth Festival. This summit will serve as a cross-region platform for local youths to exchange views on issues of concern and learn from each other, so as to encourage them to have an accurate understanding of the current situation and future challenges. We will also leverage on a brand new youth network called Youth Link to strengthen cohesion among youths. Riding on a keen response from youths, we have recruited over 5,000 members. After the delivery of the policy address, I held the first activity for members of the Youth Link on the 4th of November, and I briefed over 40 young people on policy measures relating to our Bureau in the policy address, gave them the floor to speak, and give us feedback on policy issues. We will offer them opportunities to develop diverse talents and participate in public affairs, to strengthen their communication and trust with the government through different activities. We also encourage young people to know more about the country and acquire a global perspective. We will continue to roll out various internship and exchange programs with the mainland and the world to help young people get in grips with the development of our country and the world for integration into our country's development plan. We will set up the Alliance of Hong Kong Youth Innovation and Entrepreneurial Bases in the Greater Bay Area to provide a one-stop information, publicity, and exchange platform for young entrepreneurs in the Greater Bay Area to better grasp the development opportunities. We will continue to take forward the implementation of the blueprint as a policy coordinator with a sustained focus on youth development. We will continue to enhance various youth development initiatives so as to respond to young people's needs and fulfill our role as the young people's confidant, advocate, and guide for the future. To promote youth participation in community building, the Home Affairs Department established the District Youth Community Building Committee, or DYCBC, across 18 districts in April 2023 to provide a platform for young people to offer views on community building projects. Now we have a new initiative. The Home Affairs Department will soon invite each DYCBC to propose a distinctive photo-taking landmark for the district to showcase its unique local characteristics. We attach great importance to the work of supporting women and their contribution to society. I'm very grateful to members just now who spoke and gave us their support. A dedicated Women Affairs team will be set up. The post of Commissioner for Women Affairs will be created to provide steer. In the coming year, the following key initiatives will be introduced. Launching a one-stop family and women information portal, organizing the first Family and Women Development Summit to collect views for policy formulation, launching through CCF a maintenance mediation pilot scheme to assist both parties, including women who are victims of maintenance arrears, to resolve disputes through mediation. Some members referred to the government's work in assisting women who are victims of maintenance arrears. Now, we want to emphasize that we are not, like some members suggest, that we only focus on mediation. In fact, we deploy different tactics in helping women in the process of divorce to resolve the issue of maintenance arrears. Apart from launching this pilot scheme, which is the first ever on maintenance mediation, we also invite the relevant departments to collect statistics so that a study can be conducted on formulating policies to help women with maintenance arrears. We are very committed. We will continue to encourage women's groups and NGOs to apply for the Women Empowerment Fund under the Women's Commission to help women unleash their potential and build capacity. Starting from next year, the Greater Bay Area Exchange Program will be regularized. A new dedicated scheme will be introduced to encourage women to participate in community services. We will continue to create an enabling environment to ensure women have equal access to resources and opportunities, and we will promote them to participate in community affairs. We understand the challenge facing parents in raising children. As announced in this policy address, the Home and Youth Affairs Bureau and the Family Council will launch a brand new 5-year funding scheme on the promotion of family education in the latter half of 2024 with an annual funding of $8 million, so as to support non-profit making community projects to promote family education. Overall speaking, we want to promote a good culture of family education and a pro-family culture. On district administration, to improve district administration and resolve district issues more effectively, the government announced in May 2023 the proposal on improving governance at the district level, including reforming the district councils and strengthening district governance structure. The goal is to facilitate effective governance at the district level to enhance people's sense of happiness and gain. On reforming the district council, I'm grateful to members for their unanimous support in passing the district council's amendment ordinance 2023 in July for patriots and dedicated community leaders to take part in the work of district councils through multiple channels. Another key is to strengthen district governance structure. The Steering Committee on District Governance and Task Force on District Governance, chaired by the CS and DCS respectively, were established in July 2023. It maps out strategic directions and specific measures to address issues of concerns covering elderly, children, environment hygiene, law and order, and road safety at the district level. With a new term commencing on the 1st of January 2024, the enhanced district governance structure will be largely in place. The government will be able to tap the pulse of district communities more closely and enhance communication both ways. Our Bureau and the Home Affairs Department will fully support the work of these top-level committees and the district councils to ensure that district work could be carried out effectively, accurately, and in time, thereby addressing the needs of the public. Another crucial link to enhancing district governance is district services and community care teams. The 2022 policy address proposed the establishment of care teams. Since then, 452 care teams in 18 districts have been established to support the district work of the government and enhance the district network. The care teams will mobilize the community in serving the public. They will assist in handling incidents and emergencies to support district work and enhance the network. As announced in the 2023 policy address, to enhance the efficiency of care teams, the government is developing a mobile application to facilitate the work of the care teams. Care teams are the good partners of the government in engaging the district. We will ensure that sufficient resources will be provided to facilitate their work. Some members mentioned the relevant officers and the lack of space. We will make sure that these details are ironed out for the smooth conduct of the work of the care team. Clansmen associations form an important patriotic force. The Home Affairs Department has been working very closely with them to further enhance the public's understanding, especially young people's understanding of their hometowns, and generate a sense of belonging. The Home Affairs Department will launch the Klansman Culture Promotion Scheme in the first quarter of 2024 for 3 years, with $30 million reserved for application by local Klansmen associations to organize activities to promote Klansman culture and facilitate cultural exchange to promote the spirit of loving the motherland, Hong Kong, and the hometown. The government has been committed to building a caring and inclusive society and providing suitable support for ethnic minorities. The Bureau has been collaborating with district organizations, district offices, and NGOs to provide support services for ethnic minorities and help them integrate into the community. To ramp up our effort, the Chief Executive has announced in the 2023 policy address that the following initiatives will be implemented by the Home Affairs Department from 2024. We set up 2 additional support service centers for ethnic minorities, one in Kowloon Central, another in NT East, so that the number of centers will increase from 8 to 10. The ethnic minority care teams will be set up in each of the 10 ethnic minority centers. They will actively reach out to EM households, understand their needs, and assist in referring them for necessary public services. The department will continue to strengthen services for EM youths and new arrivals. We will regularize the district-based programs for racial harmony. Ethnic minorities form an important part of our society. The Home Affairs Department recently has urged them to cast their votes in the District Council election on December 10th. We prepared video clips in 8 EM languages to appeal to the EM voters to vote on the polling day so that they can return the candidates they prefer. I welcome members watching the promoting the clips as well, so that more EM voters can take part in the election. Just now, some members also helped calling for voters to vote on December 10th, the District Council ordinary election. Now, Mr. Tommy Cheung also asked the employers of his sector to facilitate voters under their employment to vote. So I make this appeal again. Please ask friends around you to vote, and please, if you're an employer, allow your employees to vote on the polling day. Once again, I thank members for their views. I urge members to support the motion of thanks. I so submit.
Secretary for Health. President, first of all, I thank members for their support and views on the policy address in relation to the healthcare development and public health in this debate today, and also in the panel meetings. Here is my consolidated response. To protect public health, enhance services, and innovation in the healthcare sector, the Health Bureau has proposed a number of initiatives in the policy address. Many of them are supported by the community and members. We will take forward these initiatives to honor the pledges and targets in the policy address. First, about the Health and Medical Innovation Hub. Our proposal to develop Hong Kong as a medical and health innovation hub has received positive feedback from the stakeholders. Hong Kong's healthcare professionals and healthcare systems are of high standards. We will leverage Hong Kong's strengths to promote medical innovation to achieve the objective of quality drugs and R&D citizens' benefits. Our long-term goal is to establish a drug approval authority based on peer evaluation. On October 31st, we joined the International Conference on Harmonization Pharmaceutical Rules and Regulations as an observer. On November 1st, we put in place a new 1+ mechanism to allow new drugs for serious or rare diseases, if they meet local requirements and are endorsed by experts, will require only one certificate of pharmaceutical product. Since its introduction, some pharmaceutical companies have indicated that they have made applications. Also next year, we will set up the CMPR, the Hong Kong Center for Medical Products Regulation, to re-engineer and strengthen the regulatory and approval systems for drugs and medical devices, and explore the possibility of upgrading the center to an independent organization in the long run. In order to establish high-quality clinical data, we will also capitalize on the advantages of Hong Kong and the GBA. We'll set up the GBA International Clinical Trial Institute in the Shenzhen-Hong Kong Science and Innovation Cooperation Zone in the Loop area to coordinate the clinical trial resources of the public and private sectors. The idea is to foster collaboration with the clinical trial network in the mainland, especially the GBA, with the objective of meeting national and international standards. We'll also set up a cluster clinical research support office in the hospital authority to facilitate clinical research and trials. With the development of the Greater Bay Area, more and more people are crossing the boundary, so cross-boundary healthcare collaboration is very important. Members have made very useful comments. We will get on with the relevant work. In 2024, we will extend the elderly healthcare voucher scheme to suitable healthcare organizations in the GBA. The initial target is to add about 5 institutions in the GBA cities that are more closely related to Hong Kong elders as a pilot scheme, as well as designated dental institutions. Work is in hand now. The DH is conducting a market survey and inviting Hong Kong healthcare organizations which are currently participating in the scheme and are familiar with the code of practice and the transaction reporting procedures to provide information on the healthcare institutions. The government will take into account all the relevant factors, including the location, the accreditation, and the management and operation of the institutions, their knowledge of the scheme, and the ability to cope with the caseload as the criteria for selection. We will brief the members of the public on the details of the scheme and its implementation upon completion of the preparatory work. We'll discuss with other GBA cities on the cross-boundary transportation of patients by ambulances. Members expressed support for that. We will continue our discussion with the relevant governments with view to finalizing the arrangement as soon as possible to provide direct point-to-point transportation of patients between hospitals. Other cross-boundary cooperation includes the HA's participation in the accreditation of hospitals to ensure that our hospitals meet international hospital accreditation standards and making good use of the quality healthcare organizations in the GBA through strategic procurement of services to help reduce the waiting time of Hong Kong people. Members share our concern about healthcare manpower. The government will introduce a bill to amend the Dentist Registration Ordinance and the Nurses Registration Ordinance to introduce qualified, non-locally trained dentists and nurses to alleviate the shortage of dentists and nurses in Hong Kong. I hope members will support the bill. On the other hand, we will explore the possibility of amending the Supplementary Medical Professions Ordinance to introduce qualified, non-locally trained allied professionals into the HA and the DH to address the shortage of manpower in the public sector. We will also build on the experience of the GBA Healthcare Talents Visiting Program to enhance two-way training and exchanges between Hong Kong and other mainland cities. Fourth, digital health record. Enhancing digital health record is another key area in the coming year. Since its commencement in 2016, the e-health system has completed 2 phases of development. As of October this year, nearly 5.8 million people have registered, accounting for nearly 80% of the population. On this basis, we will roll out the e-health plus 5-year plan. There will be 4 alignments, i.e., align patient e-record, align management process, align health tools, and align data platform. This is to integrate data interoperability, service delivery, and process management functions to support the development of primary care and cross-boundary healthcare services. We will brief the panel on the details of the project in due course. Fifth, oral health. To enhance oral health, based on the recommendation of the Working Group on Oral Health and Dental Care, we will introduce measures in the next 2 years to promote primary dental care services focusing on prevention, including primary dental co-care pilot scheme for adolescents in 2025 and increasing emergency dental services for the disadvantaged in collaboration with NGOs. And young people will be subsidized, and they will, I hope that they will develop the habit of maintaining dental health after the program. We are also increasing emergency dental services for the disadvantaged in collaboration with NGOs and enhancing the special dental services currently provided by the DH to persons with disabilities or special needs, and will be optimizing the dental services for the elderly under the CCF in Q3 next year. The primary health care blueprint has set out a roadmap for the future development of primary health care services. On the 13th of this month, we launched the Chronic Disease Co-Care Pilot Scheme to subsidize people aged 45 or above to undergo screening for hypertension and diabetes, with a view to fostering the concept of being responsible for their own health. More than 400 family doctors have joined, involving 30 healthcare organizations and 600 service points. In addition, we also launched the 3-year elderly care healthcare voucher pilot reward scheme. Elderly people who have used $1,000 for specific primary healthcare services will automatically receive an additional $500 reward, which can also be used for specific primary healthcare services. We hope that the scheme can guide the elderly to make better use of their healthcare vouchers so as to achieve the policy objective of prevention and health management, as per the intention of the blueprint. To promote the concept of family doctor for all, starting from October 6, all subsidized primary healthcare programs only enroll doctors who have joined the primary care directory. As at end of October, more than 3,500 family doctors have been enrolled in the directory. representing an increase of about 30% over the number at the time when the blueprint was published. We'll also set up the Primary Healthcare Commission in 2024 to enhance coordination to ensure the members of the public have access to quality primary health care services. The government attaches great importance to mental health. At a panel meeting on the 17th of November, we discussed the new mental health-related measures and announced the 3-tier school-based contingency mechanism to identify and support students at higher risk at an early stage. In addition, there are also measures in the PA to promote mental health, including a pilot scheme in the 3 district health centers to conduct mental health assessment for the public. We'll also cooperate with the community organizations to provide timely intervention, treatment, and rehabilitation for mid to moderate cases through trained allied professionals. We're also mindful of the fact that ethnic minorities need special support and services because of their cultural and linguistic barriers. In collaboration with the NGOs, we will set up, on a trial basis, service centers to provide emotional support and counseling to ethnic minorities. In addition, we also set up a mental health support hotline to provide immediate support and referral services. Chinese medicine is an important part of Hong Kong's healthcare fabric. We will promote the high-quality development of Chinese medicine on all fronts so as to leverage Hong Kong's unique advantages. The key areas for the future include 1. A blueprint for the development of Chinese medicine in 2025 to outline the strategies for the long-term development. 2. To conduct scientific research and development of Chinese medicine testing and standards through the government's Chinese Medicine Testing Center for identification, testing, and education purposes. 3rd, enhance the collaboration services between Chinese and Western medicines. With the phased commissioning of the Chinese medicine hospitals from 2025 onwards, we will establish a strategic cooperation mechanism with the mainland counterparts to support the preparatory work of the hospitals and development. To strengthen the clinical team of the Chinese medicine practitioners, we promote talent exchange and training programs. 9th, the HA will optimize the healthcare services, including reducing the waiting time for stable new cases in 2 specialties, namely ENT and orthopedics. We'll be setting up Hong Kong's first chest pain center in QMH in accordance with national accreditation standards to improve the consultation process of cardiovascular disease patients and enhance the survival rate of the patients. We'll be setting up breast milk banks and donation mechanism to provide breast milk for infants who are not able to be breastfed by their biological mothers. In terms of capacity to combat infections disease, Hong Kong must be prepared for new infectious diseases. The government will enhance our surveillance and control capabilities. We'll enhance our efforts to collaborate with the mainland in this regard. Finally, I'd like to express my heartfelt thanks to members for their valuable comments and support for the Bureau. We will pull out all the stops to implement various measures to safeguard public health, ensure the healthcare system is of a high standard as well as sustainable. We will be working together with the LegCo and the public to cope with the challenges arising from an aging population. I'd like to urge members to remember to go to the poll on December 10th to discharge a civic responsibility and build a good community. With these words, I urge members to support the motion of thanks. Thank you.
Chief Secretary for Administration. President, I thank 88 members for giving us valuable comments and views in the 4 sessions of debate in the past 3 days. On behalf of the SL government, I'd like to give an overall response to members. Many members are concerned whether we can attract sufficient talents so that we can become the winner in this fierce global competition for talents. The PA has various enhanced measures for training talents, retaining and nurturing our own talents. Now, the Oasis was set up in September 2022. Since then, it has approached over 200 strategic enterprises, 30 of which are planning to come to Hong Kong, expand its business there, involving a new investment of $30 billion, providing about 10,000 jobs. We will attract companies from mainland and overseas to set up headquarters or corporate divisions here to develop a headquarters economy. We believe the capital investment entrance scheme will attract more capital to come to Hong Kong, generating more demand for high-end asset and wealth management business. Now, the newly set up Hong Kong Talent Engage will promote Hong Kong's advantages and provide support for talents minded to come to Hong Kong. Next year, we'll organize a global talent summit come Hong Kong, Guangdong, Macau, Greater Bay Area high-quality talent development conference. These measures are beginning to yield results, as at end October, we have received a total of 180,000 applications, 110,000 of which have been approved, and about 70,000 of them have arrived in Hong Kong. This has far exceeded our annual target of at least 35,000 per year. Now, for the Top Talent Pass scheme, the list of eligible universities will increase to 180 this year. We will also have a pilot scheme on the vocational professional admission scheme so as to address the manpower crunch in trade and transport and logistics, INT, etc. And we've also relaxed the rule on taking a part-time job for non-local graduate students. Members are concerned about the need for new impetus for growth and how we can better integrate into the overall development of the country. As the new growth engine of Hong Kong and integration in the country, the Northern Metropolis will embrace the principle of industry-driven and infrastructure-led. Upon completion, is going to provide 500,000 of jobs and housing units, respectively. On the 30th of October, we announced the action agenda for Northern Metropolis, mapping out the major facilities and timetable for the 3 areas in the metropolis. We are pressing ahead at full steam with the Shenzhen municipal government, the Hetao Shenzhen Hong Kong INT Cooperation Zone, using the vision of one river, two banks, one zone, two parks, to look at the flow of major innovation elements within the area. We've completed the plan for phase 1 of the Hong Kong Shenzhen INT Park. We will increase the gross floor area to 1 million square meters with different themes in its areas. The 3 blocks in the first phase will be commissioned in phases in 2024. We will attract enterprises and use market forces to enhance our speed of development to provide high-quality R&D industry facilities. Sentient Techno Park will also dovetail the development of this park, and we will have an integrated ecosystem providing upstream, downstream, and midstream activities. Housing supply. We need sufficient housing and land supply so that we can all live happily, and this is a long-standing policy of the government. We will press ahead to address the housing shortage and the living environment in Hong Kong. In 2022, we map out the land supply forecast for the coming 10 years. We are pressing ahead according to schedule. The Northern Metropolis and the Kaohsiung Artificial Islands will be important sources of housing in future. The 2 infrastructure projects will bring tremendous economic and social benefits, but it will also have great demand for capital. The Committee on Financing of Major Development Projects, to be chaired by the Financial Secretary, will give financing options for the projects. We will use different construction methods, including building technology, to expedite the supply of public housing. We'll have a series of measures, including light public housing. There will be sufficient land for private housing to satisfy the different needs of the community for housing. We'll continue to promote smart management of housing estates to enhance efficiency and quality of building management. We will complete the design for happiness within 2024 to enhance the sense of happiness for our residents. The SAR government is committed to addressing the subdivided unit issues. We have stepped up tenancy control and enforcement to safeguard the interests of SDU households. We will set up the task force on tackling the issue of SDUs to report to the CE within 10 months. To address the problem of new birth rate in Hong Kong, the PA has got a package of measures to create a favorable environment for childbearing. To send out this message to the community that the government encourages childbirth, to arouse the awareness of the community on the low fertility rate in Hong Kong. We have got newborn baby bonus. We have raised the accommodation-related tax deduction, and we have priority arrangement for flat selection of PRH and also subsidized housing. We have enhanced support for assisted reproductive services, and we will assist family in childbearing and provide family education. The government cares for the needs of the elderly, persons with disability, as well as their carers. We will boost manpower of nursing staff in care homes for the disabled. We will provide more places in extended care programs, in day activity centers and work extended programs. We will launch the incentive scheme to encourage providers of RCHE for persons with disabilities. In new development project will increase the number of representatives of PWDs and carers in RAC. We will have a 3-year pilot scheme to provide an additional $500 in allowance to working PWDs on CSSA. On support for carers, we will mobilize care teams in Tsuen Wan and South District to identify carers of elderly and PWDs requiring support. We will assist the installation of emergency alarm scheme. We will also launch the Walk with Carers publicity campaign. We will set up dedicated teams to support school leavers of special schools and their carers. We will also expand the use of the INT fund for application in elderly and rehabilitation care to cover during technology products. President Lee has said that when our young people thrive, Hong Kong will thrive. So we are committed to maintaining our work for development of our young people. Last year, we announced the Youth Development Blueprint. We have been implementing the 160 measures covering enhancing national identity among our young people, helping them to integrate into the overall development of the country, to address the housing needs, to instill positive thinking of young people and enhance participation in public affairs, etc. On all fronts, we're going to support development of our young people. Next year, we're going to host a Youth Development Summit, and through the Youth Link, we will link up our young people. The government has launched Phase 2 of Strive and Rise program with new elements, with more support for secondary school students from disadvantaged families. The quota is enhanced to 4,000, and we will start an alumni association for the program. We will provide social activities and work internship for them. We are going to launch the pilot program on community living room to provide more room for our SDU households. In 3 years, the Bay members expressed their support and approval for PA's policies, and they've also given us a very useful suggestions. I am grateful to them, and we will follow up accordingly. The CA and his team took 3 months to go through 40-odd consultation sessions. We have taken on board views from legislators and different sectors of the community and the public at large in compiling this PA. Usually, I will pause here and wait for members to vote on this motion. When it comes to polling, may I appeal to members once again, do come out on the 10th of December and cast your vote to return DC members that love Hong Kong and the country so that they can address the aspirations of the community. I urge members to support the policy address. Thank you, President.
The debate session on the motion on the 2023 policy addresses have concluded. Ms. Starry, you have 4 minutes, 8 seconds. Debate will come to a close thereafter.
Ms. Starry LEE, 88 speakers has spoken in this debate, and we spent 12 hours, 24 minutes on the motion. I'm grateful to members for speaking on items close to our heart, giving us constructive and useful suggestions. The PA has many visionary, pragmatic, and feasible policy measures that can benefit the overall development of the country. It can really echo the need to maintain national security, to dovetail national strategies, and to nurture talents, provide housing and land, etc. I hope the CE and policy bureaus and officials can take our views seriously and put in place these measures as early as possible to benefit the public at large. After the legislative election on December 10th, we're going to have the DC election to improve our district governance. This is the first DC election after our DC reform. It has great significance. We should return members that love the country and Hong Kong so that we can strengthen our district governance and can address the needs of the community and lay a better foundation for moving from governance to stability. As the CE stresses, this is a PA that belongs to everyone in Hong Kong. I believe we all want to return DC members that are minded to serve the community. I'd like to take this opportunity to appeal to you to come out to vote on the 10th of December. So we return patriotic DC members that love Hong Kong, that will that are minded to deliver results and address community issues to build a better community. And I hope district council members will also help to publicize these PA and tell good stories of Hong Kong so that we can bring happiness to the community. The motion is a platform for everyone to express his view on the PC. Hopefully we can all remember the important speech of presidency on the 1st of July last year. The 4 expectations: we should raise our governance level, we should increase our impetus for growth, we should address livelihood issues and maintain stability and harmony. We should be people-centric, we should care for what the people care for, and we can address the concerns of the public so that everyone feel happy and have a sense of gain here. I urge members to support the motion.
And I'll put a question to you that Honourable Starry Lee's motion be passed. But those in favour, please raise their hands. Those against? I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the 2 groups of members present. I declare the motion passed. I now adjourn the Council until 11 a.m. on Wednesday, 29th of November 2023.